She's finally coming home, and this time Olivia Baker-James isn't returning to Beverly Hills alone. Just when you thought the final season of All-American couldn't get any more emotional, Episode 8 is teasing a reunion that could completely change the direction of the story. A very pregnant Olivia is back, and the person waiting for her may need her more than ever. Spelivia fans have been waiting for Olivia's return all season, but this doesn't feel like a simple comeback. Everything in the Episode 8 footage points towards something much deeper, a story about friendship, healing, and finally facing the pain you've been trying to hide. So let's break down what could really be happening. After everything Layla Keating has gone through this season, she appears to be reaching a breaking point. She's been trying to rebuild her identity, deal with the pressure surrounding her career, and figure out who she is without constantly trying to live up to everyone's expectations. And that's exactly where Olivia comes in. The moment Layla sees Olivia again feels different from a normal reunion. There's no huge celebration, no dramatic entrance. Instead, it feels like relief. Because Olivia is one of the few people who knows Layla before the success, before the heartbreak, and before everything that happened to their old friend group. That's what makes this reunion so important. Olivia isn't just returning to check on her best friend. She's returning at a moment when Layla may finally be ready to admit that she hasn't been okay. And Olivia might be the only person who can get that truth out of her. But there's another layer to the story. Olivia is pregnant, and after everything the Baker and James families have experienced, starting a family of her own has to come with a lot of fear. She's spent years dealing with loss, trauma, and the consequences of keeping painful emotions bottled up. Now she's preparing to become a mother. That changes the way she sees everything. And if the Episode 8 footage is giving us any clue, Olivia may finally start talking about those fears instead of pretending everything is fine. That's where I think this episode could become one of the most emotional chapters of the final season. Imagine Layla breaking down while Olivia is standing there, carrying a baby and trying to reassure the friend who's been beside her for years. It's not just two characters catching up. It's two women realizing how much they've changed and how much they've survived. There's also a bigger question surrounding Layla's future. If this episode really is the conclusion of her major character arc, then we could finally see her stop chasing the version of herself that everyone else expects her to be. For years, Layla has been trying to prove that she's more than her family name, more than her relationships, and more than the image people have created around her. Episode 8 could be the moment she finally realizes she doesn't have to prove anything anymore. And Olivia could be the person who helps her understand that. But here's where things get even more interesting. The final season doesn't have unlimited time left. Every major character needs some kind of conclusion, and the writers have to start bringing these stories together quickly. Olivia's return could be the beginning of that process. Because once Olivia is back in Beverly Hills, it's hard to imagine Spencer staying away for much longer. And if Spencer James eventually walks through that door, the emotional stakes are going to be enormous. We've spent so much of this season watching characters deal with separation, loss, and uncertainty. Now the pieces are finally starting to come back together. So I don't think Episode 8 is simply an Olivia comeback episode. I think it's the beginning of the final emotional domino effect. Layla gets the closure she's been searching for. Olivia confronts the fears she's been carrying. And somewhere in the middle of all of this, Spencer's eventual return becomes almost impossible to avoid. The question is no longer whether these characters will reunite. It's what happens when they finally do. And with the series heading toward its ending, that reunion could be far more emotional and far more complicated than fans are expecting. So what do you think? Is Episode 8 finally going to give Layla the ending she deserves? Is Olivia's return the first sign that Spencer is coming back soon? Or are the writers setting us up for one final heartbreak before everything comes together? Let me know your theories in the comments. And if you want more All-American Season 8 breakdowns, make sure you subscribe because the final episodes are only getting bigger.